Hey folks, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we will see how we can achieve some sort of sticky functionality for nav or header nav. So let's say in your project, if you have a requirement like to stick some header or sticky some portion of your header into your container, so how you will achieve this? So basically uses the sticky positioning, it stay on the screen when it can. So basically it won't overlap the header, footer, or everywhere in your container. So basically it will overlay over the container, so it won't overlapping with the container. So this scroll onto the scroll, if we do the scrolling onto this section, you will see the each and every section, the header that nav will be highlighted, and again if you go to the HTML section, it will be highlighted the HTML nav, and if you go to the CSS part, it will be highlighted that CSS nav. So like same way the others also. So if you see the project how we achieve this in basic JavaScript and HTML and CSS, I will show you the code section. Okay, then let's check out the code how we can achieve this basic functionality in a simple JavaScript and HTML and CSS. So let me change the view here to see the more on the code side, and let's say we have this first section, we have HTML, and if you see the HTML, we have a couple of links here, and each links it's pointing to that different section. If you see the link of JavaScript, it's pointing to the different section. Okay, and if you see the TypeScript, it's pointing to the different section. So in CSS you will see couple of coloring and some design part are there. You can see the display flex I'm using, and the flex direction is column here, and justify content is center to centering these slides and tabs. So here if you see, for sticky part, I have attached one class here. This class is dynamically adding through the JavaScript, and for positioning I am using the fixed position, and top is 0. So in code, if you see the JavaScript function here, in this constructor, we have the tab container height. It's basically 70. You can use anything more than or less than 70, but its normal height of the tab container is 70. So based on this 70, we'll compare that offset top and bottom. So here we are calling to function on scroll in this section. When we are scrolling down, we are or scrolling up, we are just calling this to function. Okay, so here one function is that find tab container position. So in this function, what we are doing here, we are just calculating the offset value. So this offset value, basically we are calculating the top value of that current tabs, and we're just adding it with the height, and subtracting with that tab container height. And again we are comparing with this scroll top, what is the top position of the scrolling, and we are just checking whether it's greater than offset value or not. So if it is greater than offset, that means we are adding another class, that is top class, and we are if it is less than, then we are removing this class. Basically this class, if you see the initially when you are the first in the first position, if you see this nav are in below the page, right? So if you scroll down, it will be stick to the heading, stick to the top. So to add this functionality, we are adding dynamically this top class. So and second methods we have to get the current tab selected. So here we are again calculating the offset top and bottom, and here offset top, how we are calculating, we are taking the offset value of the current ID, and we are just subtracting to the tab container height. And again for offset bottom, we are just again taking the top, and we are adding the height. This is the height for the current section, and we are subtracting with that tab container height. So again we are comparing if the scroll top, if it is greater than offset top and less than bottom offset bottom, then it will be we are assigning this current ID and new current tab. So again we are assigning back to that current ID equals to new current ID, and current tab equals to new current tab. So again we're setting up the slider CSS. What is basically this slider CSS? If you see, each and every current tab we are adding this bottom uh, border, right? So highlighting it. So basically to do that, we are just calculating the width and left. So width of the current tab and width of the current left. So basically we are adding this width and left.